there are a bunch of different types of girls who do OnlyFans. There's even OnlyFans creators and creators on certain platforms like Patreon that literally don't do anything sexual. That is the minority though, so we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about these girls. The next kind of girl I think is the run-of-the-mill OnlyFans girl these days. Now that they've heard that you can make a ton of money, they're kind of like a younger girl that doesn't really want to work too much, and they think that going to OnlyFans is going to be like easy money. Those girls are usually going against their preset morals, which I talk about more in the previous video, that are deeply ingrained with them, so they do feel an amount of shame for doing this kind of content, for showing their body. They feel icky about it, or like they're not supposed to do it, but they just think that it's a way better life, a little bit of shame, than actually having to work. This is kind of akin to that like 20-year-old girl I told you guys about before, who works at my gym and asked me how much money I think she could make on OnlyFans, and I told her she would at least probably make minimum wage, and she was totally turned off. That's the reality of it. Most girls are not going to make a lot on the platform, and it is a fuck ton of work. Whether you like to acknowledge it or not, it is a real job, and you're either going to be spending like fucking 10-hour days promoting, filming, uploading content, or like talking to a million guys. So one final recap before I give you what you all came here for probably, which is what bra and panty set I bought today I am wearing right now. And that is, the number is the band size, which is the measurement around right under the bust. Sometimes called the underbust, I also call it the rib cage. And the letter is the cup size, but the cup size is relative to your band size. So if your girl says she's a 40G, even though her cup size is only one higher than mine, the cup sizes are probably like that, because it goes up with the band size. Hope that helps. All right, so I have to shout out to any of the big booby girlies out there, or actually anyone. I got this amazing new bra from Victoria's Secret, and I am not sponsored. I just raved and ranted about this fucking thing to Kristen because she's also trying to find a bra that's like after surgery approved. And this Invisible Lift bra by Victoria's Secret is so comfortable. It's amazing. How do you support the weight? Would you give me any suggestions? Thanks. So I don't really feel any weight, honestly. Like, implants aren't really heavy. I don't know, they're like 3 pounds each or something. They're a lot less heavy than real boobs, and honestly I don't have any suggestions for you because I would go braless all the time. Never felt like they were heavy, never felt like they were in the way or cumbersome or anything, so I don't have that issue, so I can't really help. Sorry. Does your back hurt? This also plays greatly into the last question. My back never hurts. I've never had lower back pain in my life. The only time my back hurt was my upper back from being scrunched over like this from the implants being so tight for like the first 3 days. My theory is that if you have back pain, you either have some other issue like bad posture, or you have like a lot of fat in there, like you have natural boobs and they're like 20 pounds plus. Implants are like 3 to 6 pounds. They're very not heavy. And if you have any kind of core strength at all, you're not gonna feel the weight of them and you're not gonna have back pain. I would say that if you have big boobs and you have back pain, I would definitely look into strength training because I don't feel like that should be a thing for you. When people say, oh, girls don't put on makeup, or girls don't like do whatever, shave their legs or whatever if they're not gonna see a dude or if they're not gonna see people, bro, like, no, that shit gives me so much happiness. And maybe there's some like 5th removed reason that I like the way guys look at me when I go out, but like I fucking do this stuff without posting, without fucking doing anything. Like, I love like just looking at myself and like building my body and feeling fucking healthy and going on adventures. And yeah, I like posting them too, but I know that none of that shit ever gets fucking views. It's just I actually go through my photos and go through my Instagram. Like when my IRL Instagram got erroneously banned last week, I was depressed. That doesn't give me any money. I mostly just post pictures of like hiking and me and Hunter, and sometimes like sexy behind the scenes, but I actually scroll through that as like a timeline of my life and go like, oh, I love this so much, because like pictures is how I reconnect with memories. I'm actually not very good with memory naturally. It's more like I need the pictures in order to remember the good times. If we do like a whole trip and I didn't take pictures, I am like remiss, because that means a couple years from now, or even like a couple months, my memory's pretty shit. I should probably look into why. I think it's because I intake so much useless information and I kind of just like woo through the world and stuff. I don't know, but like I love pictures because they trigger memories for me. I love feeling fit and looking healthy because it makes me feel really good about myself and it makes me feel accomplished. I don't believe in any higher purpose. If you guys have watched my channel for a while, you know this. I don't believe in destiny. I don't believe in leaving a legacy. I think that's an absurd concept from someone who doesn't believe in the afterlife. Like, who gives a fuck? I don't care if anyone misses me after I'm dead. I would hope that the people in my actual circle have happy memories of me and that I've changed their lives for the better. But beyond that, I don't give a fuck. I don't want like a legacy of like a Nobel Peace Prize or changing the world. I'm not a sacrificial lamb like that. I'm a person who really loves me, and you can think that's selfish or narcissistic as much as you want, but I also really love the people around me, which is a very small knit community of people that I can actually take on the burdens of loving, because I think love is a burden. That's why I don't want to have a house full of animals. While I do want a house full of animals, my heart cannot take a house full of animals. My heart cannot take having 50 friends that all have breakups and all need me to console them. Like, I'm not good at that stuff. So I play to my strengths. I'm an excellent. I have huge pride in how good of a fucking partner I am. Excellent. Oh my God. I'm so supportive. I'm so fucking loving. I'm nurturing. I'm fucking understanding. I'm communicative. I'm loyal. And I fuck like a porn star, you know? I take care of my appearance to be a trophy girlfriend or whatever. So all of that stuff, I feel like I'm a fully well-rounded person, and that's how I get fulfillment in life. My new system of living within my values to everyone, whether or not they live in my values back to me, is kind of like the golden rule, is it not? What I think I'm misunderstanding about the golden rule is just like, it's not really about the other person. It's just about living within your values so you're happy with yourself. It's not about pushing your values onto other people so that you can hope that they live better, or so that like they can receive it well, or you can be a better person to them. Now the way I see the golden rule, and the way I would rephrase the golden rule, is just live within your values, live within your boundaries, so that you are happy with yourself and how you show up in the world. That's how I would categorize it, and that's how I'm using it. So funny that so many years later, after me harping on how much I hate the golden rule, I finally found a way to understand the golden rule that makes sense for me and actually does make me feel good about doing it. What do you guys think the golden rule is? A lot of people just say it's very surface level, like they don't even like look into it too much. They're kind of just like, you know, don't kill, don't harm, don't impede someone's process of liberty and justice and freedom and all that stuff. But like, not really, you know, like it gets a lot deeper. It's like, I will never be late to somewhere and then someone else is late and then you get mad about it. And I think this is like a deeper, more healthy way to understand it. It's like, I've lived within my values. You've consistently not lived within those things that I expect in a friendship that are, by the way, subjective. So I can't get like morally outraged at you. I'm just like, oh, you don't have the same values as me. And I think detaching from it in that way and being like, oh, you don't have the same values as me, maybe we can't get as close, is a lot healthier. Most people, what I'm realizing, especially women and more emotionally in touch people, is what they really want is validation of the emotions more than they want correction of their feeling. So this is crazy to me because you want your feeling to be validated, but you don't want to know that I'm not an asshole that thinks badly of you because you're sometimes late. You don't want to know that I wasn't trying to hurt you. You want me to just be like, I'm sorry, that's totally valid. You know, I'll try to be better in the future. And then you go on with your life thinking that you have a friend that literally does not like you because you're late and is now just going to try to pretend that they aren't mad about it. Like, that's not the case. You know, I want to set the record straight because I feel like if they know that the way they perceived it is incorrect, there's no reason to be hurt in the first place. This has always boggled my mind. And it's so funny because I see people struggle with this in relationships too, especially men, where it's like, they just want to be like, they want to either fix it or they want to like be right in a way that where it's like, I didn't mean it that way, so why are you taking it that way kind of thing. I'm personally in that bubble. I think if I say something and I didn't mean it that way and you trust my intentions and you trust that I didn't mean it that way and I'm not doing some like backhanded ass bullshit where I actually did mean it that way but I'm like manipulating you, then you should just drop it entirely and not even feel bad about it, right? I'm so beyond being angry for a long period of time about this shit. It just is what it is, bro. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, everyone has their own struggles in life, and mine happen to be like just existing on platforms, which can be very frustrating. But like, I just release the drama, let it out, and then figure out what I'm gonna do next. I'm not gonna dwell on it or keep complaining about it more than like once. I'm just gonna try to adapt and grow and on to the next thing. And if that happens to be not YouTube, so be it. I'm not hopeful for other platforms that are not YouTube, so perhaps I'll become more of a live creator. I have a lot of fun on Twitch. It's just like, I don't really like sitting there for many hours at a time. I would rather be on for the camera and like expressive and all this shit whenever I want, whenever I feel it. and then just edit behind the scenes and be a little like hermit and stuff and do all of my other stuff when I don't feel like it. Because I don't always feel like getting up at exactly 12 and streaming for exactly 5 hours and being on for exactly that amount of time and being in front of a camera exactly that amount of time. That gives me a lot of anxiety. So I don't really love that life either. But maybe trying that and trying to take it one day at a time will be where I go from here. We will see. Definitely follow me on Twitch. Definitely follow me on Rumble. And if you have the means to, definitely support me on either Patreon or the spicy sites. I might try to make my Patreon more robust again, since it's kind of like a middleman. You don't want to be paying for porn maybe on spicy sites, but you want to support me and get something in return, then you could get the teases that are every Friday on Patreon. And I might try to make it more like wallpapers and like super HD, full HD, like photo sets and stuff like that. We will see. I'm so beyond being angry for a long period of time about this shit. It just is what it is, bro. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, everyone has their own struggles in life, and mine happen to be like just existing on platforms, which can be very frustrating. But like, I just release the drama, let it out, and then figure out what I'm gonna do next. I'm not gonna dwell on it or keep complaining about it more than like once. I'm just gonna try to adapt and grow and on to the next thing. And if that happens to be not YouTube, so be it. I'm not hopeful for other platforms that are not YouTube, so perhaps I'll become more of a live creator. I have a lot of fun on Twitch. It's just like, I don't really like sitting there for many hours at a time. I would rather be on for the camera and like expressive and all this shit whenever I want, whenever I feel it, and then just edit behind the scenes and be a little like hermit and stuff and do all of my other stuff when I don't feel like it. Because I don't always feel like getting up at exactly 12 and streaming for exactly 5 hours and being on for exactly that amount of time and being in front of a camera exactly that amount of time. That gives me a lot of anxiety. So I don't really love that life either. But maybe trying that and trying to take it one day at a time will be where I go from here. We will see. Definitely follow me on Twitch. Definitely follow me on Rumble. And if you have the means to, definitely support me on either Patreon or the spicy sites. I might try to make my Patreon more robust again, since it's kind of like a middleman. You don't want to be paying for porn maybe on spicy sites, but you want to support me and get something in return, then you could get the teases that are every Friday on Patreon. And I might try to make it more like wallpapers and like super HD, full HD, like photo sets and stuff like that. We will see. And last but not least is this girl that I have no idea why I'm obsessed with her. Oh my God, like she's just so hot. Something about the dark eye makeup that she does and the tan and the blondness is like the fucking hottest thing ever. Her name's Kenzie. I don't know. Something about this girl. Like, look at this girl. I don't know what it is. She's like a gym girl a little bit more than I'm used to, but I honestly can't tell you why I love this girl so much. She just looks kind of like a slut. I don't know what it is. I think it's the eye makeup that reminds me of when I grew up and girls that looked like this were kind of like mean girls and sluts, but that something's so hot about her. And of course she has a nice gym body, which is great. But more than that, I'm talking about the face, like the really dark eyes with the blonde hair and the tan. Something about that just sends me. And then she's also fit. She just looks like she's a good time. Like, look at her. And then she's lifting and she's badass and she's all lean in the waist. And I don't know, like the thick eyeliner just sends me. I don't know. I would want that looking up at me, like while it's licking my pussy, while she's licking my pussy or sucking my dick if I had one, I wish. Kenzie Scott, hot as fuck. I don't know what it is. This is actually the only shirt that I have tried on since the new boobs, and oh my God, let me tell you, it looks so amazing. But instead of telling you, why don't I just show you? Oh my God. Look at the night and day difference. Like, it's so much better. The boobs just stay in place. Please excuse this little gauze pad I have here. I cut my nipple the other day. They look so much more even. I don't have to wear a bra for them to stay right in place. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish this video very quickly so I can put my bra back on and make sure it stays that way. But wow. The right boob is even a little bit higher right now because that's the one that had all of the work done on the side and the under boob with the internal bra. So that will actually even out. But even if it stayed exactly the way it is right now, I am so happy to have cleavage without any bra holding it up, to have evenness, to have fullness on the top. The upper pole and the cleavage fullness is everything I have ever wanted. Oh my God.